Are you too much of a game journalist to play Fallout? Your gamer skills just aren't there? Well, just get someone to do it all for you. Can you beat Fallout 4 with only a companion? And if you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Starting the game, I made a character so disgusting that I can't believe anyone would marry him, so I gave him a 10 in charisma so it makes sense. The world soon ended, and so did my marriage, and suddenly, it was time for the real game to begin. With no companion, that meant none of the rad roaches would be able to die. I had to run past all of the rad roaches but couldn't use the Pip-Boy to escape since they were after me. I used a trick I learned a long time ago by locking the rad roaches behind a door and waited for them to forget about me. Only to fuck it all up because I forgot there was another door. All they had to do was go around. I actually got outsmarted by a fucking rad roach. After I did it properly this time, I opened the vault door and escaped. My only goal right now is to get a companion as soon as possible so I can fulfill the title of the video. Thankfully, Dogmeat was nearby, the first companion of this run. I gave Dogmeat a trial run against some bugs, only for him to go down without killing a single one. Stupid dog. Seeing how worthless Dogmeat is, I realized I needed someone else, and the easiest human companion you can get is Piper, so off I was to Diamond City. Piper, however, was currently busy putting on her clown show or whatever it was she was doing, so I tried to find someone who can find my kidnapped son instead, but they are, of course, missing as well. I then sped through Piper's interview and got her as my companion, and promptly fired Dogmeat forever. I then used Piper against the raiders at Concord, where she proved to be quite the efficient killer. I then gave her the power armor and minigun that I was supposed to use and watched her turn all of the raiders into paste. I then decided to side with the Minutemen for this playthrough, mostly because I'm too socially awkward to talk to any of the other factions. Preston, however, had other ideas and forced me to talk to other settlements to get them to join the Minutemen, but they in turn wanted me to do shit for them instead because they are too useless to do it themselves. Don't worry, I won't torture you with all the Minutemen quests. Preston was so impressed with our work that he decided to give me even more quests as a reward. Fucking bastard. With all those quests done, it was time to retake the Minutemen's castle, because I hadn't done enough work yet, haven't I? Unfortunately for the Minutemen, I was more preoccupied grabbing Mirelurk eggs than I was helping them clear the castle. Even more unfortunate was the fact that they were pathetic, and died pretty quickly, leaving just Piper and Preston left to do all of the work. Despite this, we eventually killed enough Mirelurks for the Queen to show up, which is where things got way worse. The Queen has a fuckload of health, and can quickly incapacitate both Piper and Preston. For almost 10 minutes, there was a cycle of Piper and Preston regaining consciousness just to get a few extra shots in only to get downed all over again, till the Queen was finally dead. Thank fuck for that. Even after everything I've done, Marcy Long is still a massive bitch, so I prayed to the Holy Roof Brahmin for her to receive a brutal death. I did a few more Minutemen quests till I finally had enough of this shit and continued with the main story. We have to rescue Nick from Vault 114. And even with upgraded power armor and new weapons, Piper still couldn't clear the first group of triggermen without going down. Fuck's sake. We rescued Nick and talked down Skinny Malone and trauma dumped on Nick about my kidnapped son. We broke into Kellogg's house because he's the likely suspect, but only found a cigar. Nick thought that Dogmeat could actually be useful for once and had him sniff the cigar so that we can somehow track Kellogg across the Commonwealth. That sounded very tedious, and I've already had enough of Dogmeat, so I got to Fort Higgin myself and waited for Dogmeat there. Inside, Piper scrapped the synths and completely obliterated Kellogg with the fat man I gave her. Piece of cake. The Brotherhood of Steel then arrived, meaning it was finally time to get an apprentice more powerful than Piper. I went to assist Paladin Danse with his ghoul problem, then accompanied him on an errand to ArcJet Systems, where he then recruited me into the Brotherhood. I flew up to the Pridwin, listened to the fierce speech, and replaced Piper with Danse, and got my own suit of T-60 power armor to boot and then left the Brotherhood forever. Continuing the story, I slogged through Kellogg's memory shit to discover that the Institute can teleport and that a scientist named Virgil had escaped. With my power armor in tow, it was off to the Glowing Sea to find him. There, we fought the most cowardly Deathclaw of all time and had a chat with Virgil. It was then off to Green Tech Genetics where Danse fought the Courser. Danse threw a nuclear Molotov or something because the Courser got thoroughly obliterated. I then freed the synth that the Courser had dragged down, only to have her executed because I hate the concept of synths. This is Fallout, not Detroit Become Human. Get it right, Bethesda. I then had to track down the railroad to get them to decode the Courser chip. I absolutely despise the railroad, so I tried to get Danse to kill them all. Unfortunately, the railroad can't truly be killed unless I do it myself, which is very disappointing. I subjected myself to the railroad's cringe just to decode the chip, and as a sign that I will never work with the railroad, I stole all of their snacks in the hope that they'll all starve to death. Virgil then gave me the teleporter plans but had the gall to demand that I get him something from the Institute. I don't work with freaks of nature like him, so I unleashed a dance upon him and destroyed all of his defenses, so whenever the Institute does come for him, they'll have an easy job. I gave Sturgis the teleporter plans, built all of this bullshit, and was teleported to the Institute. I then came face to face with Not My Son, and Not My Son number 2, and told them to fuck off. I desperately tried to get him to attack me, but he wasn't budging at all, so I was unfortunately forced to leave peacefully. With the Institute now hostile, I can get the Minutemen to destroy them for me, which means more damn settlement quests, which is strange because I think I have enough already. On my final quest, I had to help a bunch of robots, which I really wasn't in the mood for. I thought that killing them and taking the settlement for myself was a good idea, but Danse didn't think so and turned on me. Even after the 6 quests I completed for Preston, the Form Ranks quest still wouldn't finish, so I thought it might be because I haven't discovered the castle's armory yet. With the castle artillery set up, the Form Ranks quest magically finished. Thank fuck for that. The Institute, however, was now out for blood and attacked the castle, and they definitely got it. Despite all the work I have done for the Minutemen, they can't do any work for me and died pretty damn quickly. This of course meant it was just me and Danse, but even he can't fight 20 synths at once, so that meant I had to let him break out the big guns. After Danse blew the remaining synths to Kingdom Come, it was time to bring the fight to the Institute. How do we get to the Institute? We go through the sewer system. At least I've got my power armor on. I then teleported the Minutemen in, and Preston gave me the nuke they happened to have to destroy the Institute. Oh, and he told me to evacuate Institute personnel while I was at it. Mercy? In this economy? Fuck no. I had Danse shoot up everyone we could find in the Institute, and even their sentry bot wanted in on the fun. I then rubbed it in Not My Son number 2's face that everything and everyone he has ever loved is about to blow the fuck up, and I tried to order Danse to execute him, but he wouldn't do it. No matter. I told Not My Son that he was going into the big recycling bin in the sky and told Sturgis to leave him to burn. Once we teleported out, the Institute was completely obliterated and finally finished the game. I had beaten Fallout 4 with only a companion.
I didn't have time to waste helping our enemies get away. They're all dead.
My God. So we just killed everyone? This is gonna be a black mark on the Minutemen forever. As glad as I am that the Institute is gone, this wasn't the plan.
You moron! You are not to question my orders! When I say jump, you jump! When I say fight, you fight! When I tell you to die for your country, then you will certainly die!